Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to the latest episode of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco. I hope you are having a great week so far and that you're doing good. This week we'll be featuring Kleeer. Kleeer was founded in 1972. At that time they called themselves the Jam Band. And the Jam Band was a famous backup group for many disco acts. In 1975, they decided to rename themselves and they were called Pipeline. And they did something, especially in 1975, what other music groups wouldn't even consider. They were not going with the disco mainstream, which was starting right off. They wanted to do hard rock. And Pipeline was so much in demand that record labels had competitions to get them. Columbia Records was the one who got them. And in 1975 they released their first single on Columbia Records, which was called Gypsy Rider. Surprisingly to the label and also to the musicians, the single wasn't a success. So after that, they became part of the Universal Robot Band. The Universal Robot Band was mainly done by the famous Patrick Adams and Greg Carmichael. And they had a huge hit single, which was called Barley Breaking Even. It became a huge, tremendously success. From 1978 to 1985, Pipeline decided to rename themselves again, and they became famous as Kleeer. In total, they released a couple of albums. Let's get through them. In 1979, they released I Love to Dance. In 1980, it was Winners. In 1981, it was License to Dream. In 1982, it was The Taste of Music. In 1983, it was Get Ready. In 1984, it was Intimate Connection. And their last album from 1985 was Secret. That was actually their last album. Why? And after that, they disappeared. They disbanded. The musicians got into other projects, and a couple 20, 30 years later, occasionally they got together again. But why they actually split up seems to be a mystery in many ways, because they weren't unsuccessful. And this week I would like to point out an album which was for me my entrance to Kleeer, and it was a very surprising album. And this week I'll be talking about their 1982 release, A Taste the Music, sorry. And what you see here is the promo of the record. You can get the Kleeer records extremely cheap, between $5 to $15 or euro. It's almost the same these days. And I would say, before we get into the record, let's hear some snippets. We haven't talked about the lineup yet. So who were the members of Kleeer? The members of Kleeer were Richard Lee, Norman Durham, who unfortunately passed away, Paul Crutchfield, and Woody Cunningham, who also deceased. Kleer's 1982 Taste the Music album was for me absolutely surprising because I didn't expect elements which I found on later albums, a couple of years later, on this 1982 release. They used a lot of synthesizers, they used a lot of techniques to alter their voices, and some elements I found on records a couple of years later. So Kleeer was somehow always a little bit ahead of their time. So yeah, let's have a look at the record. Alright, so as I mentioned before, this is the Atlantic promo. I got this record, I think, for €8 a couple of years ago. I don't think that it's so much more expensive nowadays. So, and this is the back of Kleeer. There you can see from the promo. I'm sorry. There's some stuff written in gold, which I haven't seen before actually, just in this slide, where they say, "Land for promotional use only. Any sale or unauthorized transfer is prohibited and void. Subject to return upon demand by owner. Acceptance of this record constitute agreement to the above." And there's also, which I haven't seen before, really I actually see this just above the slide, there's also a number written on this. But anyway, yeah, that's the back, that's the front. I'm out of MoFi sleeves, so I'm at the moment using the Japanese sleeves, which also do the job. So this is side one, and as you can see, this record was in absolutely minty condition. I think when I bought this, it hadn't been played, or at least only once played. So absolutely gorgeous record. What can I say? I can only recommend that you have a listen to Kleeer. Like I said, they were pretty much ahead of their time in many ways. There is very surprising musical influences on it. Like I said, the synthesizer and everything. I didn't expect that when I got the record, and it's just tremendously good. So that's it for this week's episode of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco. I hope you enjoyed it. All I can say is stay safe, stay healthy, listen to good music, maybe Kleeer. I can only recommend it to you. And all I can say is I see you next time.